Hi friends! This afternoon Scott took me to the local greenhouse so that I could pick out some flowers and some annuals and perennials for my garden. And I went ahead and picked up some herbs and some vegetables as well. I told him that's what I wanted for my Mother's Day present, was to go and pick up my flowers. I get them every year. So that's what we did. I had every intention of bringing you guys along and letting you see in the greenhouse, but I walked off and forgot my camera. So I'm just going to do a haul now for you, show you what I picked up, and then at the end of this tape I will show you where I have planted them. I'm planning on at least getting started with planting tomorrow and getting it finished up next week. But by the time I upload this video I will have had all of my flowers planted, so I'll show you where I put them. Alright, so we'll start with the annuals. This flower, I'll just put it down, that's easier. This flower is called a calendula. Now someone who is into herbs, let me know in the comment section below. Is this the calendula that you can eat? I don't know. So I got a red or an orange or yellowish looking calendula, and then I got this beautiful purple flower, and it is called a soprano purple. So, and this is the Latin name for it. I got these two plants because I generally get a couple of Gerbera daisies every year because those are my favorite flowers. And the greenhouse, they had a very slim selection this year, and the plants that they had, the Gerbera daisy plants they had, all looked pretty pitiful. So I went ahead and got these instead. They kind of remind me a little bit of a daisy, and I just thought they were very pretty flowers. And then I got an entire flat of marigolds, and they're all in the different varieties. The orange, the variegated, the yellow. And I plant these out by my chicken coop in pots because they can stand hot temperature and full sun. So I always buy an entire flat, and I have, let me see if you can see out there, those 4 big pots out there by the chicken coop. That's where I will be planting these marigolds. New flowers. They're not pansies, although they look like pansies, but they're not. I know that. But the two, I happen to pick 2 pots that don't have the little tag in them. So, and I can't remember what these are called. So if anyone knows what these pretty little flowers are called, let me know in the comment section below. But these are annuals as well. The last annual I got were these zinnias, or zinnias, however you say them. And of course, as obviously you can see, they're not blossomed yet. But these are the strawberry variety. So I am assuming they're going to be like a fuchsia pink color. And I'm sorry it's blurry. I can't get it to focus in. The first herb I got is called lemon thyme. I plant thyme every year, and I saw this lemon thyme variety, and I plucked one of the little leaves off and crushed it, and it definitely has a lemony scent to it. So I wanted to try that out. But I also got some regular thyme. I got 2 pots of what's called English thyme. And so I've got 2 English thyme and 1 lemon thyme. And then I got another rosemary bush. The rosemary bush I tried to winter over last year, died. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, they just don't do well when you bring them in the house. So I'm going to do something different this year, and I'll tell you about that in the fall. But I got another rosemary bush. And then another herb I got 2 of these curly parsley. That's another one that I really like to use, and I'm going to try dehydrating more of it this year. I dehydrated a little bit of it last year, but I'm going to do better at dehydrating. Then I think the last herb I picked up today was this lemon balm. Now I have some lemon balm that's growing out in my yard that I had planted years ago, and it goes crazy. I didn't realize that when I planted it, but it spreads like crazy, and now it's kind of become more of a nuisance than anything else. And I wanted to try to dig some of it up and put it in a container, but I was afraid if it didn't like that and died, then I'd be kind of out of luck. So I went ahead and bought one lemon balm. Now I'll show you the vegetables that I got. For vegetables, I got this 4-pack of jalapeno peppers. I want to do salsa this year, and I only really wanted 2 plants, but they only sold them in these 4-cell packs. So I may have a bumper crop of jalapeno peppers this year. And then I got 2 of the 4 packs of green peppers, just regular sweet green peppers. I figured if I had 4 jalapeno plants, I would need extra green pepper plants. I may be doing a lot of salsa this year. And then I got some tomato plants. I've got eight of the Romas, because those make good spaghetti sauce and pizza sauce, and I'll use those also in salsa. And then I got a 4-pack of tomatoes for eating, like sandwich size, and these are called Celebrity. My dad said that Celebrities are good tomatoes. So those are, I believe, all of the vegetables that I bought. And then I'll show you the perennials I bought. The first perennial I got, and it's actually a biennial, it said, it'll bloom every other year, is this beautiful. It's very tall and very top heavy, but it is called the Champion Blue Bellflower, and it's supposed to attract hummingbirds and be deer resistant, but I don't have a deer problem up near my house where I'm going to plant this, so that's not really an issue. But I just thought this was absolutely beautiful, and I'm going to have to definitely stake it, maybe on both sides, because it really wants to lean over. And then the last 2 things I bought were these 2 butterfly bushes. Now, they almost look like they're alike, but they're not exactly alike. This one is more of a purple color, and this one is more of a fuchsia color. But I wanted 2 butterfly bushes, and this one is purple butterfly bush. And let's see what the other one's called. Hot raspberry. So they're not exactly alike. And these are the variety that are considered a dwarf variety, which means they won't grow as tall. Some butterfly bushes can grow up to 7 feet tall, the lady at the greenhouse told me. And I definitely don't want to have to be dealing with that. And the other thing I didn't realize about butterfly bushes is that they smell nice. They have a very, very nice fragrance. So I can definitely see why they would attract butterflies. Here's a look at the whole haul all together on my kitchen counter. This is where they're going to be tonight, and tomorrow I'm going to get a lot of this planted. Probably not all of it, but a lot of it. And if you've been hearing that motor sound, I'll show you what's going on. Scott is pressure washing the front deck, so that's what that sound is. Okay, well, I'll bring you back when I get these flowers planted over the next few days. I'll keep this vlog going over the next several days, and I will show you what they look like when I get them planted. Alright, so it's several days later, and I wanted to show you what we did with all those plants. This is where we put the tomatoes. These are the, what were they called? Oh, Celebrity. These are the Celebrity. And then I ended up having to go back to the store and get a couple more plants. And this is a big boy, and that's a better boy. And then I'm going to get a couple more plants to go in this spot right here that's empty. And then over here are all the Romas. And then we put marigolds down the center because they are a natural pest. Bugs don't like them. Pest control, natural pest control. And we crunched up eggshells and put around the base of all the tomato plants because that discourages cutworms. So now I'll walk over to the other bed and show you what we planted there. We planted the peppers and more marigolds just because we had them left over. And we put the eggshells around these as well. So I had 8 green pepper. So that's what those are, those 4, or those 8. And then these 4 are the jalapeno peppers. And then I had room here at the end, so I went back to the store and I got a sweet banana pepper, which is what this is. And then over there, just for the fun of it, I got a hot chili pepper. It's like a cayenne pepper. And I figure if I get a lot of peppers off of those, I can dehydrate them and grind them up because I use a lot of ground cayenne. So that's what we did with the tomatoes and the peppers. I'll show you next what we did with the flowers. Okay, so this is where we put my perennials. There's that bellflower and the butterfly bushes. And that's that live forever. This is that bed that was a total disaster that I showed you in my spring tour video. And if you didn't see that, I will link it here so you can go back and look at it. But Travis and Scott built this edging out of some old logs that we had. And then Olivia planted the plants for me because it's hard for me to get down with my knees the way they are. And then we mulched it real good. And then we put these flowers in. And these are called violas. Earlier when I was showing you the plants, I couldn't remember what these were called. These are violas. So that's this. And then the bed continues on. That is our fire escape to our basement window. And this is my first forsythia bush, and I got it pruned. It's looking pretty bad, but that's because it had been neglected. So hopefully with annual pruning it will look better. And then we picked up this little guy. I thought some kind of statuary would look really cute right there. And Olivia named him Ned the gnome. And Ned spelled G-N-E-D, of course. And then we put some hummingbird feeders out here. And yes, I know you shouldn't use the red food colored feeder nectar stuff, but this was what I had left over, and so I used it up. And next time I fill them, I'll make some homemade stuff. But there's that. I love it. I absolutely love how it turned out. I think it's such an improvement. I mean, anything would have been an improvement over what it was, but this is just beautiful. It's exactly what I wanted. And so I'm going to try my hardest to keep it this way. It's so hard sometimes when the weeds decide to take over and life gets busy, but my plan is to keep this looking this nice. And now I'm going to show you my Mother's Day present from my husband. He and Scott is my husband. He and Travis, my son, worked on it all day Saturday. Oh, there's a hummingbird. Probably can't see it. That is so cool. I love hummingbirds. Oh, look. It's resting on that vine. How cool is that? But anyway, I'll go show you what Scott and Travis worked on all day Saturday as a Mother's Day present for me. This is what they did. He pressure washed the deck a week or so ago, and it totally transformed it, made it look into like a brand new deck. And then he went back to Costco after work one day last week and picked up another one of those sunshades that I had in my haul. and covered this back deck for me. Now this is the south side of my house, and it always gets extremely hot out here. And even though I plant flowers that are sun-loving, by the middle of July they are just fried, and I get so frustrated because I work so hard and none of my efforts, you know, seem to work out. So I think that this will definitely help with my my plants. They get morning sun, and then in the heat of the day they are protected from the sunshade, and then they get afternoon sun as well. And also it will keep our house cooler. So let me bring you up on the deck and I'll show you the plants. And you can see the two hanging pots. Those have petunias in them. But I think just looks fabulous. I'm so happy. Okay, so here is my chives, and I harvested a bunch of this the other day and dehydrated them in my oven and then put them in a jar, and they turned out really good. And I'm hoping, since I trimmed them back, that they will bloom some more blooms will come, and I'll be able to dehydrate some more. But then here's my hanging, here's one of them. They both have petunias in them. This one has like a salmon colored and a hot pink. And then down here we have thyme. And Olivia planted all of these for me as well. Rosemary. There's my rosemary. There's my calendula, and the other one is called soprano. There's my parsley. I just watered everything, so if they look a little droopy, that's why. And here's that lemon thyme. And here's the zinnias or zinnias. And there's my lemon balm. And then here's the other pot of petunias. They're similar in color, but these have like striping in them, which I don't know if it's picking up on camera, but it's really, really pretty. And my plans are, I'm going to buy some insulating bags I saw on Amazon to cover the lemon balm, the lemon thyme, my rosemary, and this other thyme, and hopefully they will winter well, covered in an insulated bag, and they'll come back next year. Now, I'm pretty sure the lemon balm will come back because it's pretty hardy, but I'm just trying an experiment with the others. And then the last thing we planted, which I'm not going to take you all the way out there, Olivia planted marigolds in those pots. You can't really tell right now, but later in the summer when they grow, they'll look really beautiful. So before I close out this video, I'm going to read an excerpt out of this book, Aspic and Old Lace. Several of you asked that I read excerpts out of it on occasion, and specifically I was asked to read about the proper conduct when dating a man in the service. So I'm going to read that to you before I close out my video. And I will read excerpts out of this on occasion when I remember. A young girl should not go alone to an army post or camp to visit a soldier unless he is her brother. On a visit to any other man, she should be accompanied by another girl or a couple. While at the post, the girl should not attempt to bring her officer friends into intimate contact with enlisted men of her acquaintance. It is very embarrassing to both men and officers. They are like oil and water. They just don't mix. Every girl should be insistent that her soldier boyfriend observe every rule of their camp and the army. She should make certain that they get back from their leaves on time and that they violate no regulation because of her. So that was from the 1940s, Proper Conduct When Dating a Man in the Service. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video of my plant haul and how we landscaped our property this year. Thanks a lot for watching, friends. We'll talk to you later. Bye!